Through my work, I've come to realize that where analysis closes doors, creativity opens new ones. So where analysis is about rigor and refinement, and it's not a bad thing, it's important, it takes an idea and it hones it into something viable by removing what doesn't work. Where analysis contracts, creativity is expansive. It starts with curiosity and it asks us, what if? So I believe in this current world that there is far too much emphasis on closing existing doors before we've actually given ourselves a chance to see what might be revealed behind new ones. So in my work, I'm both a futurist and a business designer. And that leads me to see business as the purpose of it as being a catalyst for making a better future available in the present moment. For those new to the term of business design, it can bring to mind preconceived ideas about what business can be, likely very boring or dry. I think people imagine me sitting behind spreadsheets and giant thick business plans, that sort of thing. And the word business has this reputation for being stuffy because that is the way it's always been done. So most businesses do more or less the same things for the same people. And this creates a need to stand out from one another, which they usually do using the same strategies. So I do not believe that you can discover something new by doing what has always been done. So don't get me wrong, there is a place for the simplicity and familiarity of the humble coffee shop. That is not what I do. I'm here for what could be and for what does not yet exist. I want to encourage everyone around me to discover the potential behind the most interesting door you're yet to look behind, and to manifest that potential so that it can influence people today. And so business becomes, an offering becomes a way of impacting people. In the process of business concept development, it is extremely highly creative and extremely strategic. So I believe both creativity and strategy are about opening doors for us and creating opportunities where before there were none. I want to show you a business that I love. So they're not a client of mine, but they take this kind of idea of opening doors to a really incredible place, kind of at the extreme manifestation of this idea. And I'd love to share a little clip from their documentary.
Doesn't look like much right now. As you walk down the hallway, you'll turn the corner. Eventually, you'll open up the refrigerator, and you'll wind up in another world.
How would you describe Meow Wolf, and how do you fit into the art scene?
Meow Wolf is a venue for artists who felt like they were on the outside of the art market in Santa Fe looking in.
The scene for artists who are trying to do something different or weird just didn't really exist.
We were Santa Fe's orphans of neglect.
The gallery arts world is a bunch of markety bull.
It's time for us to just be an agitator.
The art world needs to get shaken up a little bit.
So the full documentary origin story is well worth a watch. You just saw a glimpse of a company known as Meow Wolf. They exist to bring a future where artists are supported to bring the full potential of their imagination to life. And it uses a business model much more associated with startups than the arts to achieve this. So their primary investor is George R.R. Martin of Game of Thrones fame, but they now also employ over 300 creatives and counting, and many of these creatives share in the ownership of the business. So Meow Wolf, in terms of what they do, give their employees the tools and the resources that they need to create incredible, large-scale immersive arts installations, the kind of which have never been seen before. And also to profit off this success as well. So the creative is not only given everything they need to make, but they're also able to completely share in the profits and the ownership of the IP that's created, and to grow together. And that's where this kind of self-fulfilling, more and more creatives are coming in. It's creating more and more massive potential by unlocking the full potential of those creatives. And then that is not only nourishing the business, but it's allowing the business to grow and impact even more creatives and bring even more creatives in internally. And it just keeps growing, much in the way that we would see a startup grow, except it's just, a really, really different industry. And I think that there's a lot to learn by applying different business models to conventional ways of doing things, and to look at not only the business model itself as a vehicle for bringing that future to now, but how can we do it differently, and what different future are we looking to bring in, because the same strategies aren't going to work when we're trying to do new things. And there's beautiful nuances there. And the result is that their potential is limitless, and it's awesome. So with each new way of doing things, more ideas become possible. So if we open a door, that leads us to a new room filled with more doors that were previously inaccessible or even inconceivable. So Instagram could not have been possible without the internet existing first. Because each new possible thing, though, makes other new things possible that weren't previously, we have, and we're seeing this right now, an acceleration in the amount of change we're experiencing. So one door is leading us to 10 more doors, and those 10 leading to 100 more. And this is why we're seeing innovations popping up everywhere, and trends seem to be moving faster and faster, and there's this change, and the change is getting faster. And essentially that's why each change has a kind of a viral or a flow-on effect to create more change. So more information in our world essentially means that there are more dots to connect than ever before. And the work of a creative person is, in essence, dot connection. So if creative work is dot connection, and we have more dots to connect than ever before, we need creativity and creatives more than ever to ensure that those dots are connected well, because they are the ones experienced in how to dot connect. There's absolutely an art to it and a science to it. Otherwise, without this, we continue to miss opportunities and, most importantly, waste potential. So in today's climate, I do not believe we can afford to waste potential. So with this kind of view of creativity, it's really easy when we think of ourselves to be just one of, another one of a million companies or job roles that have existed before you. Creativity means change and leaving the safety of the way it's been done. So it does take a rebel with a healthy appetite for risk to leave that safety and to do something new for the first time. But I believe that we all have the potential to do this. So the way I kind of see it is a lot like a fingerprint. I believe every person is unique, and when cultivated, this becomes a superpower. We each have a blend of memories, experiences, skills, interests, and that positions us individually to see the world in a visionary way that no one else can. So I created a technique called status quo mapping. It's available in my ebook, and it shows you how to uncover yourself in that role of visionary, because it's already there. We just need to find it and nurture it and expand it. So when you get clear on what your unique impact is, it's much easier to take risks because they're aligned to the change you want to see in the world. I believe we really owe it to the world to be as creative as we can be, as that's how we can unlock the full potential of what our collective future can be.